Welcome back, everybody, to the Cirque Show 24/7. This is season 4, episode 15 of The Walking Dead, entitled The Grove. So let's get right into it. All right, guys, The Grove. Now, this episode, going into it before even watching it, looking at the previews, I was like, oh man, this is gonna be an episode just with Carol and that whole little team, Lizzie and Tyrese and stuff. I was like, I'm gonna watch it, but I don't know if I'm gonna be super excited for it because they're not the most interesting for me. They're not the most interesting group out right now. The only thing that was interesting was the whole Tyrese finding out about Carol and the whole killing thing, but or killing his girl thing, and that was the only interesting part. I didn't really care too much about the kids or anything like that. So going into that, that's why I was like, I was kind of dreading this because I heard that it was just going to be that group's entire episode and stuff. So I was like, but let me take this. Let me tell you something. This episode was phenomenal. I was on the edge of my seat. I was so emotional. It had so many great turns. It had such a great meaning to it. It really, really grabbed you and made you feel things that a grown man's not supposed to feel about a TV show. You know what I mean? It was just really, really good. Now, this episode we have Carol and Tyrese. They're with Lizzie, Mika, and the baby. They're still trying to get to Terminus. They actually take a little detour. They find like a little place and they kind of crash there for a little bit. Now during the midst of all this, um, you get to see Lizzie and her crazy side because we already knew that she was already crazy, or we had the hints like, man, I think she was one that was feeding the rats. She's got this issue with like the zombies and stuff. She actually thinks that they're still real people and this, that, and the third. So you get that, and you get just it heightened up a lot more in this episode, and you really see that she doesn't really know um what's real and what's not. She thinks like these walkers are that they're still human, that they just want to be heard to, and that she's like the walker whisperer or something like that she can hear them talking to her. And you see that, and then you get to see Mika and how she doesn't want to. You just get to see the difference between the two sisters and how one wants to be friends and one doesn't even want to kill anybody. And she has that heart to where she doesn't want to endanger and hurt people even if they are dead, because she feels like that's wrong. And it was a great comparisons that Kara made to Sophia, that Mika is kind of like Sophia, and that's how Sophia got killed, because she didn't have like a mean bone in her body and stuff like that. And you see how Carol is thinking, and I like that, and how she compared that to Mika, and how that was just maybe the downfall of Mika. I don't know, but you get to see those comparisons and how Carol was thinking about these two girls and stuff. And it was just very interesting to see, and I really, really enjoyed it. Now, like I said, you get all of this, and you still have Tyrese, and he's like having these bad dreams and stuff, and he's like mumbling in his sleep and stuff. And he kind of tells Carol, like, I just been having these these visions and these bad dreams about just people and like these strangers killing like me or like the girl I loved and stuff. And that Carol knows what really happened, and you at first you think she's about to tell her in that moment, but she doesn't. And it was just, is she gonna tell him, and what's gonna happen and stuff. And what's so interesting about this, like, if she would have told him in that moment before she told him in towards the end, after what transpires towards the end, I think we'd have had a whole different outcome in this episode. Like, if they were still walking and she told him right then and there before the whole Mika getting killed by Lizzie, I think Tyrese would have actually killed Carol right then and there. But after everything that transpires, I think he's more understanding and stuff. So that's just something to think about, guys. Like, what would have actually happened if she would have told him like right then and there towards the end of this episode. And now let's get to the end of this episode, because that's what we really want to talk about. you know Carol has been telling Lizzie that you gotta grow up. You got to understand that these people are not real. And Lizzie's like, okay, I know what I have to do. So they go out and walk. They come back, and you see the blood. You see the blood. You see the knife and stuff. And at first, you don't see Mika, but you kind of see like a baby's foot, so, and you see the blood on her hand. So I was like, oh, they killed the baby. They killed the baby. But then it pans out, and then you see Mika on the ground, and then it was just so eerie and so spooky and stuff, and the way it was delivered and stuff, and how she pulled the gun on them and said, just wait, wait, and it was played so well by Carol, and how her and Tyrese are freaking out, but they have to keep it together to get this gun out of this girl's hand, and that's what's so interesting, and that was just what was so powerful, because they're trying to keep it together and say, yo, okay, we believe you, just give us the gun and we'll go tie her up until she turns and stuff, knowing the fact that this girl is completely crazy. And then when they leave and it's just Carol by herself, how she breaks down and how she really understands, like, I've lost this girl. I've lost this girl. I couldn't get to this girl. And that's when she comes out and she realizes what she has to do. And that was just a powerful scene when she takes Lizzie out to the woods, and she has to, tell Lizzie, like, yo, you need to look at them flowers because it's over. And what's so interesting is about that whole thing is Lizzie, before Lizzie got shot, she probably only was turning around just to look at the fire. She didn't actually. I don't think Lizzie actually thought she was actually finna get shot by Carol. You know what I mean? I think she just thought like Carol was just mad that I pulled the gun on her, so I'm just gonna turn around and just look at the flowers just because I'm crying, and maybe that'll be all better. And you just tell that this girl is just really effed up in the head, and it's probably what's so good about this episode is I feel like she was effed up before this whole zombie apocalypse, and it just got heightened with the whole zombie apocalypse and stuff. So, just this episode was just very, very powerful. Um, Watching like the end when Carol actually tells Tyrese what actually happened at the prison and how she killed those people, and how how she gave Tyrese like that option, like, you can kill me because I've seen it all and I've done it all right now and I just don't want to live. So she gives him that decision. That was a very powerful moment, and it was good to see Tyrese like basically forgive her, but still acknowledging the fact that he will never forget, but he will forgive her. That whole situation. So overall, this episode was just fantastic. One of my favorite episodes of The Walking Dead. It surprised me throughout. All the acting, just all the accolades that it achieved in this episode really got to me, because they had the balls to actually kill off, like, they didn't kill off the baby, but they killed off two little girls, like, back to back. Two little girls, like little children. So that works for me. You know what I mean? Just the fact that you still understand that no one's really safe. Like, these little kids, like, oh yeah, they might be little kids, but no one's really safe in this zombie apocalypse. So that's what I like, when no one's really safe. And you get that fear that your favorite character could die. But we all know Lizzie had to go. She had to go. So, but it was really good, and I really enjoyed her character because she brought a different dynamic to this whole show. So what's now going to be interesting is Rick going to be okay with Carol being back, because he should be now, because once he finds out, like, okay, well, the big black guy is cool with it, so I'm cool with it. Everything should be good, and then we can get that Carol and Daryl reunion that we all been looking for. So hopefully that happens. But overall, what you guys think about this episode? Please like this video, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you thought. And as always, this is the Search Show 24/7. Be easy.